What's up? What's up? What's up, fight fans? And we are back at it with another edition here at Round One Sports TV. I am always your host, Edwin. And where do all fights start? We got an amazing show for you here today. Tune in, lock in, hit that like button. And we got a special guest for us today. We got Keith Cologne. And I'm gonna be hoping he joins us in the live stream, and I see if we can get the young man aboard and ask him a few questions. Young, hot Puerto Rican prospect. I want to get a talk to with the young man. What's up, Cano Loco, and what's up, Frontline? So let's get right into this video, guys. Well, what's up, guys? What's up? So just in case I had sent him a link, what I'm gonna do also is just gonna drop it in the chat right here too as well, just in case makes things any easier. And that's what I'll do. Yeah, I have a lot of questions and see if everything goes well. And we could talk about all these other interesting topics that are floating around. And what's up, man? How you doing? Yeah. As you guys can see, Naoya Inoue has arrived in Las Vegas. Ticket sales seem to be doing pretty well now that he's like in the building. You know, I'm excited. I'm excited to see Naoya Inoue in Las Vegas right away. They showed him training. You know, he's getting a little work done. Uh, because he got there, he answered some questions, right? And Roman Cardine went there and shouts out to Fight Hub, right? They put out the interview and where they showed them standing side by side. And yo, Roman Cardine looked scared as shit, bro. It looked like it all hit him at once until like the moment he saw Naoya Inoue. Like he was like full of like confidence, like everything. And he walked in and they looked at each other. Oh, my man's in the building. How we do? Here he is. Let me get him up here. How you doing? Wait. Let me side by side. Gotta get it. Hey. There's
What's
the
going
young
on?
man right there. How you doing, brother? Nice to meet you. Oh man,
Likewise.
I'm excited. Um, thank you for joining us. Will you please tell the fan your name and your record, please?
My name is Keith Cologne, and I'm 5-0 now.
5-0. You're coming up the rankings and rocking 100% knockout ratio is pretty impressive. Such a fast start. You know, before I get into the boxing, I want to get to know a little bit more about you, and I want the fans to know about you. Can you share with us a little bit about your amateur background and
Yeah,
what you achieved?
yeah. In the amateurs, I had about 70 or 80 fights. All the way up until I was about like 17. I was fighting in the U.S. So I think that's considered like, yeah. I was fighting in the U.S. all the way up to I was about 17. Um, Then I had fought in like the tournament in December is like one of the biggest tournaments, and that placed me second in like the entire country. And then
Wow.
after that, yeah, after that I had that was like around November, December. Then my dad around January was like, yo, we gonna fight in Puerto Rico because I'm also Puerto Rican, and I had fought out there, and then that propelled me to be on like the Puerto Rico Olympic team. And so I ended up
Wow.
traveling. I ended up traveling with them to Ecuador, to the Pan Am Games. We went to like 3 or 4 tournaments. We went to DR twice. Just getting the international experience. So I was on the Puerto Rico Olympic team. So, like everybody that you guys see fighting at the Olympics, that have fought at the past Olympics, I was fighting them at like much smaller tournaments, and
Mhm.
I was on the Puerto Rico Olympic team, and I was campaigning to go to the Olympics, for Puerto Rico, and so we was preparing for, like, it was called the Olympic qualifier. So in the midst of us preparing for the Olympic qualifier, um, I saw that Shakur Stevenson at the time, he was fighting in back home in Newark, where I'm also from. I'm from Newark as well, and he was fighting here at the Prudential Center. And I just ran it past my team. I was like, what you guys think about, instead of the Olympics, I turn pro now, and fight on the undercard on Top Rank. It's like no other. There's really no other better way for me to come out. I'm from Newark. This is a big card. It's on Top Rank. And at first they was like, nah, you crazy. We gonna wait for the Olympics.
Right.
And then the next day, my team told me, they was like, we gonna see. We gonna run it by a couple people, and if it happens, then we'll go through with it. But if they shut us down, then we just gonna stick our normal route. And it happened. It went through. I turned pro July 6th of last year, and now we here.
Wow, wow, that's a big decision for a young man, Olympics, turn pro. Um, it's a big decision, and you felt that you were ready. I was talking with Gano Loco just a few days just before this interview, and we were trying to get this interview and together. And I was telling him when I was taking a look at you, I even noticed that in your amateur career, you had a more pro style. Your style was more catered to like being pro. And when I saw you in your first 5 fights, I noticed very fast your patience and wanting to set up punches. And talk to me about that. That was all in the plan to turn pro.
Um, that's always kind of been my style. I had a problem
Mm,
in the amateurs, especially in the beginning. In the beginning, like I'm talking about my first 20 fights, I had a problem because I was patient. It's like
right,
you can't be patient in the amateurs.
right,
You gotta kind of like go out there, fight.
mm,
Just be in and out, use your speed and your quickness to your advantage. But I'm not like the fastest guy in the world. Like I got decent speed, but there's people that's faster than me. So I never wanted to fight like super fast pace, just going out, jumping out the gate. So turning pro was just like much more easier for me. For me, the amateurs were harder because that's not my style.
right,
I was fighting a way to win for the judges.
right, right, right,
So and and honestly, that's how it was. Like a lot of my amateur career, like especially when you go up into the high level, like the intercontinentals, the continentals, these international tournaments, when it's a close fight, they just look at it, all right, who fits the amateur style better? Who's more in and out? Who
right,
who's more like edgy? And that's never me. I'm always super calm. That's my key. Like that's how I fight. I'm super calm, super relaxed, patient, and I execute. That's my style. I execute. But I'm not too big on throwing unnecessary shots. I'll throw throwaway shots, but I'm not gonna throw unnecessary shots. You know, um, my coaches say, you know, everything we do is calculated.
right.
You understand what I'm saying? It's the reason why I do everything.
Mm,
Yeah, sometimes we may sometimes in the pros we may have to look busy to win, and that's an adjustment we'll have to make.
mm. You know, uh, that the pros and the amateurs and everything. And I just want to take you back to the road travel. I don't think a lot of people talk about what it takes to be a boxer. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't miss the smell of the gloves, the smell of the hand wraps. They smell like a sock. And how many times have you seen guys come in and out of gyms and a speed bag takes them out? Y ya tú no lo ves no more. Or the fact that they can't jump rope. The sport is not meant for everyone.
No.
Talk to me about some of the struggles that, as a young man, you have to stay focused. And
Definitely,
remember what got you there all the time.
definitely, yeah. There's a lot of struggles, difficulties, and you know, like, I feel as though people don't understand, but is when you're trying to be the best at something, it's gonna take you away from everything. It's gonna take you away from family. It's gonna take you away from fun. It's gonna take you away from literally everything. So people think, like, people always say, "Oh yeah, I want to be the best. I want to be the best. I want to be the best." But literally being the best, it'll take a toll on people mentally, physically. You know, like, nobody's gonna really. It's a select few people that'll be there with you when you making certain sacrifices. Waking up 5 in the morning to go run, staying up late at night to go run, certain training sessions, working out 3 times a day. It's rare. The sport takes you away from comfortability, and just being great. Wanting to be great just takes you away from from all of those things, and that's the sacrifice you had to make to be great and to be better. But you just gotta understand that it's only temporary. This is for
Right.
something greater. It's for my family, and my legacy, and everything that my parents, grandparents, great grandparents they worked for. It's showing through me, and so I feel like I got an opportunity, and it's my job to like go all the way through with it.
Being a professional athlete, there's a lot of things that come with it, and the understanding of how to juggle certain things in your career. I like how you touched on knowing the responsibility of your family name. Every time you step out of your house, you carry your family name, not only for you, but for your son after you. You see, it's the importance of understanding, a father and son relationship. It's good to always know that, a lot of us, like me in particular, grew up, you know, where was my father? What did he do? Or this and that. And today I ask myself, how good of a son am I? And what am I giving back to my family? Understanding that a boxer's career is very short, from 20 years old to 30 is 10 years. And understand throughout your road that if you are fortunate enough to fight for a world championship, remember what got you there. It's not time to go on vacation. This is where the real fighting and the real training starts. I call it the champion's curse. You hear them all the time win a belt and want to, hey, I'm going on vacation. And all these things in due time you will learn. But for right now, concentrate on the gym, stay focused, stay the course. Know that distractions are going to come in many shapes and sizes. And that's all they are, distraction. Unity and keeping tight with your family is what's going to get you there, and staying the course. And I'm excited what I see. You're 5-0, rocking 100% knockout ratio. You're riding on a high. Is there anything you can give us on maybe your next appointment? If you can't say too much, I understand, but is there anything in the works when we'll be expecting to see you back in the
De-
ring?
Definitely. My next opponent, I don't know. You know, for my last fight, this is what I will say. For my last fight, you know, we tried to get the best opponent possible. We
Right.
had multiple different people. A lot of people know, a lot of people don't know. My last fight, that was like a kind of stay busy fight, because a week before that, I was supposed to fight, and my fight fell through the day
Mhm.
before. So I then did a whole training camp, had multiple opponents all the way down to the wire, you know, and then come Friday, the day that I'm supposed to weigh in, I got a call a couple hours before
Wow.
weigh-ins saying that the fight was canceled, and then immediately my team told me, they was just like, look, don't, like, we might be able to get a fight for next week. You ain't fight this time, but we just looking for any opponent possible that's willing to take the fight.
Right.
So, the opponent that I did have, that the opponent that I fought, um, he was 1-2, but we had opponents for the initial fight, the fight that I was supposed to
Right.
fight the previous week before. We had opponents with like 20 plus fights, We had a guy locked in that was 15-9. So like 15-9 versus a 5-0. That's a
Right.
pretty even match. So like
Right.
these we are looking for these fights.
Right.
The competitive fights, the best fight. Now, whether they go through or not, that's another story. You
Right.
know,
Right.
so like it's weird. It's weird. Cause, and I'm not gonna say it's the fighter's fault because the 15-9 guy he accepted the fight, but then from my knowledge, the commission didn't accept it. But then a
Ooh.
week later, a guy that was 1-2 got accepted to fight me, which is
Right.
crazy. But it is what it is. I'm grateful that I actually got a fight
Right.
and I was victorious. So
I,
it's more to it.
I think some of these situations early in your career are going to prepare you for later in your career, learning how to adjust to a new opponent. I think
Definitely,
when I think when things like this and you accepting this kind of fight really shows what kind of fighter you are and what kind of direction you want to go in. You're even willing to go into a fight with a very terribly unknown opponent and you still believe in your skills.
definitely,
Later down the line, mark my words, something like this will happen and you will remember this day. And this is what prepares you for these kind of situations. You're a very talented young man. And like you said, you alluded to, oh, maybe I'm not the fastest, but there's a way to deal with that. And you will learn how to shut down speed. You will learn how to deal with power. And you will learn that timing beats speed, right
right,
positioning, good timing. You will land your punch. Always believe in yourself. There's going to be moments in a fight where you might have to go to a dark place. And that's the only time I can tell you, are you meant to do this? And that's when a fighter pushes you to your limit. With every fight, you're gonna learn. And I can't wait to see you, get back in the ring, really show different wrinkles to your style. Always being a student to the game. Always pushing yourself to learn more and more. Watching other fighters. By the way, why I have you here? Uh, what current fighter do you watch the most now? And if it's an all-time favorite fighter, share with me who's your favorite fighters.
definitely the current fighters that I currently look at, definitely Terrence Crawford. Um, I like watching Caleb Plant. I be taking a lot of little things from Caleb Plant. Um, and really just like the top pound for pound guys like Javante Davis, Usyk, Shakur Stevenson, Keyshawn Davis. Like really, really just like the best fighters in the division. I don't
Right.
really, if I'm being honest, I try not to watch. You got some fighters that they love boxing to the point where they watch every fight that come on from Saturday, Friday to Saturday. Me, I'm not that type of person because I be so focused in the gym that when I'm out the gym, it's just like, all right, I need the balance of like, gym and then life. So, and I got to be careful on who I watch because you could pick up bad habits like that just watching anybody fight, and
You're
I don't like that.
you're a real fighter, right? I
Yeah,
tell this to my guys all the time, right? You will be surprised how much boxers really know little about boxing. You got to
right,
understand we're in a sport where we're all betting on ourselves. You don't got to watch nobody else. I'm the best. You know what I'm
exactly,
saying? Type shit. And the only time I ever knew a guy's name if he was in the division or they put his name in front of me. That's basically all I got to worry about. I'm just
exactly,
concentrating on myself. So I tell the viewing audience this, you know, um, these boxers are typically, focused on themselves and after if they want to be a historian or reporter, they do otherwise. But um, you know, um, yeah, I noticed that you said Caleb Plant, right? And as soon as you said Caleb Plant, I thought to myself, the one thing I take about Caleb Plant is his patience and his inside game, the when and the where, when to
right,
snap it. When the guy removes his hand to hit, he's already snapping you. Uh he's got boxing speed that way, right? And I just wanted to know Is it more or less like that you view him?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. His adjustments. I tend to break up. The way how I analyze fights is a little different. I don't just watch fights. I tend
Right.
to break it up in I just give it a little gem. I tend to break it up in like sections. You understand what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So like you got some people like they good with distance. Some people they good in mid range. Some people good in the inside. So throughout parts of the fights, some people fight at a distance, and then I just take little things. Like, I'm not trying to watch somebody that's the best. I'm just
No.
taking little things from somebody that they do that fit my style.
Right.
So I'm not necessarily looking to watch
Be
the
somebody.
best fighters, but it's certain things that Caleb Plant does that it
Yeah.
fits in with me.
Right,
You
right,
understand what I'm
right,
saying?
right, right.
So and also
Like,
fighters like Andre Ward, like if you notice Andre Ward, Caleb Plant, they have similar styles,
right.
and I tend to watch them both, a lot.
Yeah, they can really lull you to sleep and make you make mistakes.
Hmm.
They can really like make a fighter bite. But I also there's some also big cards coming up, and one day you'll be in these kind of fights, and I just wanted to see or get your predictions on some of these fights. Starting
Definitely.
off with the Ryan Garcia and Rolly fight. Who do you got in the fight?
I'm gonna go with Ryan. I'm gonna go with Ryan. He looked pretty focused. Rolly coming off a couple of losses, so I feel like I'm gonna go with Ryan.
Devin Haney, Ramirez.
I think I'm gonna go with Devin on this fight. It's this bounce back fight. Ramirez is somebody he also kind of going on a decline, but he's actually he could cause more problems than people think because his style is kind of like Ryan Garcia's style. So
Right.
where they kind of pressure fighters a little bit and they throw like a lot of looping shots. So if he take notes, I just
Good
kind of
eye.
go off the same script. But I'm leaning with Devin.
Right. Good eye. Good observation. What about Tio and Barboza?
That's a tough fight. That's a 50-50 fight right there. But I feel as though I'm gonna say T.O. I'm gonna go with T.O. He look like he been having fun training. So when you look at the press conferences, he talking his talk. So I'm gonna lean more towards T.O. and hopefully that my boy Africa could beat him up.
Uh, so, a couple more prediction here. Saul Canelo Alvarez is coming in to try to unify all four belts. Do you think he gets it done, and how?
Yeah, he definitely could get it. He definitely can get it done. You know, um, with him is no cap. Is no cap to his potential.
Right,
He's at the top of the game right now. He's literally the face of boxing. He can do whatever he want to do. Boxing is all about it's all about like how you said it's all about timing and being in the right position. So
right,
it's all about who he fight, when he fight, and like how they are. Like
right,
it might be like look, Benavidez was in his division. Certain things happened. He moved up.
right.
Now, it's much easier to become undisputed without David Benavidez in the division, so
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people don't want to let that fight go. One more fight. I would like to know who you got in the Naoya Inoue and Roman Cardin fight.
I got anyway. I don't know too much about his opponent. I got anyway.
All right. I think he's one of the best fighters in the world, and achievement wise,
Yeah,
he
definitely.
he definitely has achieved a lot, and it will really take a lot to catch a man like that. Um, what are your expectations in boxing, and where do you see yourself in the next 3 years?
Next 3 years, I see myself. Uh, if not having a world title, I definitely believe I could have a world title within the next 3 years. Definitely like top three in my division. See myself top three in my division. If not having a world title, and just really breaking that superstar status. I feel like a lot of people they chase world titles, they chase this, they chase that, but I really want to be a superstar in a sport. I don't want
Mm.
to just be known as a regular boxer. I want to be known as like a superstar.
Really, that's a big shoes to fill. Being Puerto Rican and me as well. I'm from Newark, New Jersey. I was born in Newark. Um, and being Puerto Rican and everything, and having a lot of legends in Puerto Rico like Hector Camacho, Trinidad, Miguel Cottos, just to name a few. One thing Puerto Rico has never had is an undisputed world champion. That could be something, just a record. You would stand alone there. You know that, won't you?
Right, right.
That would be something you can bring home that no Puerto Rican has done it. Right now, Collazo has two. They're in talks and negotiation for the three, but when he gets the three, then I'll start to be like,
Yeah,
but there's something to shoot for. When we
definitely.
think about records and achievements. So yes, I think you have all the tools. I like the way you're fighting. I like the way you're coming about in the social media era. Quickly, people want to start putting you up next to the other guys, and you're gonna see that they're gonna try to trick you into saying this guy said this about you. Uh, you know, One thing I like about some of the young men that are coming out, like the Vargas kid, he knows how to stay in his lane. He's like, look, I'm not ready for those guys up here. I'm right here. When I get there, I'll let you know. Don't try to trick me and bait me and to get into a social. I gotta stay focused and
Right,
know when to speak up for yourself, and don't allow them to get you to say things about other guys.
right.
So, because boxing is a crazy, so it's the wild wild west. But tell me, so far, it's 5-0, 100% knockout ratio, and I want to ask you, there has to be at least one. What was your toughest moment so far in the ring?
Mm, in the ring. Uh,
I seen the dude in the green shorts hit you. You had him hurt. No, no, it was he had the black with the red stripe.
yeah, I had green shorts.
Yeah, you had the green shorts. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess you could say that part. He's probably the. I'm not trying to sound cocky or
I
anything.
I get it.
I'm
Speak
really
your
not.
mind.
I say this humbly, but like he's probably
Yes,
the only person that really hit me with like a solid shot. But even then, it's just like like
right.
I go into the fights. I literally like I don't go into the fights super nervous. Nah, I go in there calm, mellow because I know
Hmm.
it's a fight. I know I'm gonna get hit.
Yeah,
I know I'm gonna hit the person. Like it's a fight.
right,
So other people were shocked because they see me knocking people out, this and that. But like
right,
to me, it's like I prepared for this. Like it was nothing.
right,
Like
right.
that's why it wasn't like a super shock to me. Some people thought I was hurt. Nah, I just let him
Mm,
let his load off, and then literally the next combination I threw, the ref waved it off. But that
right.
probably I'll say you that part right there,
Yeah,
cause he actually put up a fight. You got some
right,
people they get hurt and like
right,
they can't take it, but he kind of got hurt and he just like
right, right,
like he
right.
just shot a low, his last load, and that was it.
Yo, it
So
be those one guys that they're like not the toughest dude, and then they fight you, and they're like attacking you.
yeah,
And you're like,
I
yo,
had
what?
somebody
Where did it?
scream at me one time. I'm like, oh, like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, it'd be those moments. But like I said, like with every fight, it comes experience. It's always getting better. Knowing to sharpen your skills, knowing that your body is what I call in shock, right?
Hmm.
Meaning that if you was to stop training, take a vacation for a year, your body will fall out of shock. And the athlete thinks, oh, because I'm talented, I always walked in the gym a month later and nothing happened. But what happens is your competition doesn't rest
Definitely,
and
definitely.
they're faster than you. So it's always, keeping, yourself in shape and always staying the course. Is there anything you would like to share before I let you go?
No, I just want to say thank you for having me. I appreciate you for having me. It was a great interview, and thank you.
Listen, it's been a pleasure. No, thank you. I want to stay in touch. I'm gonna watch you come up throughout your career. You're always welcome to come up. I know that there's gonna be more time, and just don't forget me when you become world champion.
Nah, I
yo,
won't. I
yo,
won't.
can you do me a favor and can you shut me out and just say round one sports talk? Yeah, like I don't know, I guess like something.
Yeah, yeah. Nah, shout out round one sports talk. I appreciate the interview. Great interview.
Thank you, my man. Thank you, Keith Cologne, 5-0, rocking 100% rock knockout ratio, Puerto Rican upcoming prospect. If you don't know, I invite you to check him out on YouTube. You could also follow him on, where can we follow you?
You can follow me on Instagram at official Keith Cologne.
There you go. And check the young man out. Listen, he is exciting. So thank you once again for coming on the show. I hope you had an amazing time. I had an
Definitely,
amazing time, and I expect to see more from you. Thank you,
definitely, man. Appreciate you.
my man. That's what's up. Wait. I got you. Yeah. Woo! Nice little interview there, man, with the young man. Wow. I like to have interviews with young upcoming prospects. They're always exciting. They're full of energy, and this one right here in particular, let me tell you guys right now, if you don't know about him, go check him out for real. Real talk. The young man is explosive, very exciting to watch. Let me set this up right here. Okay, here we go. And he's rocking 100% knockout ratio. He has a lot of potential, and you can see where his mindset is at. He understands that boxing, there's sacrifices in this game. And he understands the sacrifice, the journey to get there, where he wants to be, to write your name among the legends of Puerto Rico. It's not just one thing to get a world title, and that's very hard to do in this day and age. But the moment if you were able to achieve such heights and just win one world title, I would enjoy the moment, look down, and say, I want more. Because in this sport, it's all about pushing yourself to the next great fight. If already you have achieved that, then there's more to what's up, front line? Hopped in, messed my little speech up.
Nah,
Oh,
I let you shine for a minute. I didn't want to come up till you finish the shine. You know what I mean?
yeah. I'm just closing up, wrapping up what I feel with my interview with Keith Cologne, and I tried so hard to not mess up his name because I had Oscar Collazo in my head the entire time. You have no idea how I was doing that front line. I'm serious. You know how I am with names, and I was like, just don't say his name, right? But anyway, so
Why ain't you asking him about a possible fight with Inoue
stop
so he
it,
could swipe
stop it.
swipe
Stop it.
that?
Don't try to
Yo,
disrespect my young Puerto Rican fighter. All right.
hey yo, give Keith a couple about a year.
Nah. He's gonna. He better just leave that man alone. Keith can become a hell of a world champion without even going up against a monster like that. Like Keith is a real young, and it wouldn't be fair to put him up. Naoya anyway, he's already in his 30s. His style has aged
So
like
I
fine wine. He knows so much things about boxing. Like it's not about that Keith can't get there. Just let him get there. You know what I'm saying? Like he did. So yeah, not just hurting your fight or anything like that. I would never do that. Naoya Inoue is he's who he is for a reason. And arguably, you know how I feel. He's just the best fighter in the world right now for activity and everything. 4 times putting up the belt. That's hard to the
yo, not
what's
no
up?
cap. But did you see the video? You saw
Hey,
the
what
video,
video?
right? With the unofficial face off. Just a real quick
Oh
look.
man, he looked scared as hell.
Yo, he Inoue, I
Yeah,
know he
right.
broke contact and
Yeah, right.
everything. He- Yo, he looked shook. Cardina he stared him down. He's like, I dare
Yo,
you. Make a move, Buster. That's what he
Cardina looked
said.
like a deer in headlights, bro. He looked like the moment got real. When he walked up, Naoya Inoue walked up with his hat, his glasses, relaxed, and then now it just changed in his face. It went boom, and you could see it in Roman Cardine's eyes. Reality sunk in. Yo, he was like this, looking. Go look at that right now while you're talking to me. Look at his smile crack. Yo, that man was like, yo, he was done, son. He was done.
Yo, I don't know what video you saw, but the one I saw,
I'll put it up right now. We'll watch it together. Hold on. We're gonna watch it together. Nah, talk is cheap.
hey, yeah. Hey, yo, Cardino's about to whip him with that tail. You saw him? He had that shit leaning right over his shoulder. He's like, go ahead, make a move, nigga. I got the same shit you
Bro,
got.
let me tell you something right now. Listen, I'm telling you right now, bro, that and when we fight as warriors, what gives it away for a man is his eyes. Look into a man's eyes, you can see into his soul. I kid you not. Any man that knows what I'm
All right,
talking
come
about.
on, talk his cheap. Come on, put the video up.
Okay,
Come
hold
on,
on,
talk
hold
his
on,
cheap.
hold on. I got it right here. I got it right here. Let me see if I
You gotta share it. You gotta share it.
Come on. We wouldn't do anything less now.
Hey, and then we're gonna give the chat a few minutes so they can comment. I'm gonna read everybody's comment too.
Yo.
Naoya looks scared,
You wish.
and he's short.
Yo,
Ramon Cardina, Mexican power. He's gonna knock
right
him
here. I
out.
got it. Okay, hold
Share
on.
it.
I'm gonna share it. Ah, ahí says La Bocas. La Bocas. Ahí say. Okay. Wait. Let me screen share this. Hold on. Uh,
Yo, Carlos, pay attention. Carlos, pay attention.
yes.
You too, bang bang. You too. Pay attention. Let me know what y'all think. I saw Inoue scared
Yeah,
shitless.
right. Yeah, anyway,
Yo, come on.
it's like
Come on, play it. Play it. Come on, play.
shouts out to Fight
Talk
Hub.
is cheap. Let's
Shouts out to
go.
Fight Hub.
Keep it on mute so you won't get
Yeah,
copy strike.
check it out. Look at this man
Look,
looking down.
Cardina's
Look at him.
texting.
Look,
He's texting the
look.
girls.
Watch. This is when it hits him. Right here. Look,
Right there. Look at
right
that tail.
there.
That tail's about to whip and smack in a way.
Look at him. He's looking out into the space. He can't believe he's there. Look at him.
Now, I don't
Watch
care
this.
about that. Watch the
Watch
face
this. Watch
off.
this.
Watch the face
Look
off.
out
Watch
anyway.
Inoue break
He looks
contact.
fly,
He's
bro.
scared.
Slick.
He saw the devil in his
Look at him.
face.
Look at Carthy's face. This is surreal for him. Look at Naoya
Now
smiling.
watch the face
It's
off.
another day in the
Wait,
office.
hold on. But watch the
Look, check
face
it
off.
out. Watch this.
Right there. Look at that. Look at Inoue. Look at Inoue.
Inoue's gonna kill
Look.
him. He like, listen, kid, this is your first
Look,
time to the
Inoue
show.
laugh like, oh
Look,
shit, I'm fucking with the devil right here.
Check him out.
Nah,
Look
hit
at
it back.
smile.
Back 20 seconds. Hit it
Look,
back
he
20
wants to
seconds.
leave. He wants
20
to get
seconds.
away from him. The guy keeps calling him. Now he goes back to him. Hey, I know I'm not gonna win, but I'm just here, man. Thank you. I'm just here. Give me opportunity. Look. Kissing his ring.
Crazy.
Look, he ran from Naoya. Look.
Not because they called him over. Look, he's laughing over there. He's like, yeah, this little pussy.
Look. Cool as shit. Look at him. He's the greatest fighter in the world. What does he got to worry about?
He got to worry about that right overhand, like Neri landed. That's what he got to. That's what he got to worry about. Yeah.
My man is ruthless.
Hey,
Cardine could not wait to get away from him.
Hey, yo. Inoue's in for a big
You
surprise,
crazy,
brother.
homeboy. Hey, yo, papi, tú ni te crees eso. Papi. Olvídate.
He look, even Bang Bang said it. Bang Bang said it.
What's Bang Bang saying? Bang Bang ain't got nothing to say on this. Get out of here, bro.
American soil, definitely from Japan soil. Look, I'm reading everything. I'm Mexican, but Cardenas has no chance maybe before the Brian Acosta fight because now he looks like food. I don't know Mexican boxing #1. I don't know. The greatest fighter in the
The greatest
world.
fighter in the world. I just had him on in an interview.
Question mark.
Hey,
Question
hey,
mark.
hey.
Question mark. Question mark. Question mark. Man,
The
cat.
greatest fighter in the world. I just had him on. His name is Keith Cologne, and he's about to become the greatest fighter in the world.
Oh,
All right? All right?
yeah. He's gonna introduce Inoue to 126.
Yo, watch my youngie. He coming up, baby. Don't worry. Hey, stay the course, son. Stay the course.
Nah, Keith is
No,
definitely gonna be a
he's a
problem.
problem kid. He's a
He's
problem.
definitely gonna be a. He's dude. His footwork. I mean,
Mhm.
even if you go to his YouTube page, Keith
Yeah,
Cologne, you go to his YouTube page, you see his little workouts and
yeah.
shit like that.
I checked it out.
You can tell you can tell that the kid is he has
Yeah,
fun with it.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I like everything about him. You know, it's still young in his career. You know, there's a lot of guys that get to this point. He hasn't gotten to that 10 fight plateau yet, where that now we can start to talk about him. You know, and it's a fighting
You know what's
spot.
a question I wish you would have
What's up,
asked him?
brother?
A, a question that I wish you would have
What was
asked
that?
him was how does he balance between going to college because
Oh
he's in
man, I forgot about the
college.
school thing. His dad told me he was in school today. I meant to ask him. Hey, you're fired. Why didn't you put it in the chat? You're fired.
You didn't read the
Hey,
chat. You
get
didn't
out of
read.
here. You're
You never
fired.
read the
Forget
chat.
about it.
you, you never read
You
the
didn't put it
chat.
in the chat. Oh,
Read.
you
Go
did?
back. I think I did. I don't know. Maybe I thought it. I didn't write it down, but
You see, that's one. I'm not a mind reader. You know what I'm saying? Now I was gonna hire you back, but I'm gonna hire you back, right? Just to fire you again. You're
that's
fired.
well. Bang Bang's your manager, so he does the hiring and firing.
Bang bang. Fire him. Hire him back, and fire him once more. Okay. Yeah, man. So that was a real good interview, man, with the young man. I'm very excited for him. He has a bright future.
Yo, Stan said y'all both fired.
We're both fired. So so I'm like, I like oh, I thought
Hold on, I gotta
go
answer
ahead, go
Carlos
ahead.
real quick because he's asking me. He's asking me who do I think is better between John Paul Rivera and Keith Cologne. Um, I would honestly say style wise, I like Keith Cologne's style better, but you can't compare the two because John Paul's like more ahead
Yeah,
than
he's
Keith
further
Cologne
along.
is.
I was gonna say.
And John Paul reminds me of a combination of a Tito Trinidad and Miguel Cotto with the way he
Mm,
fights. So he's a little bit more
mhm,
advanced. Keith Cologne has his own
mhm.
style. Um and obviously he's 5-0, but he's still coming up. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? He hasn't really faced. You heard him in the interview. He's taking stay busy fights
Yeah.
because it's hard for him to get an actual opponent that follows through a whole camp. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? So you can't really judge him yet. But based on what I see, I think Keith Cologne has a better chance of making it further than John Paul. And I'm not saying nothing bad about John Paul because I like John Paul.
Mm. Well, these are a lot of our Puerto Rican fighters that potentially got an opportunity to bring titles back to PR and represent Puerto Rico. So this is the kind of talent that we're talking about today. And speaking of one of the Puerto Rican fighters, what do you guys think about this Puerto Rican matchup between Subriel Matias and Alberto Puello and the
El gallo,
Dominican?
el
And
gallo,
you
el
know,
gallo,
that's
hands
that's what
down.
it is. And shots fired, shots fired from the other side. You know what I'm saying? Apparently, there's a lot of people out there that believe that Subriel Matias is going to lose this fight. I wanna ask you, what's your take on this fight, and what do you take away from this matchup if it stands to be true?
So I'm not taking nothing away from Puello. Puello has proven himself time after time. Um, he's got good boxing. He's got good footwork. He's got okay defense. I don't think a lot of people are saying, "Oh, you saw what he did to Gary Antoine Russell," but Gary Antoine Russell's not Matias. Matias' pressure is
Yeah.
relentless. Matias throws way more punches than Gary Antoine
Mhm.
Russell per round. So I personally see Matias winning, but I'm not taking nothing away from Puello because it is boxing. Anything
Mhm.
can happen. Puello came in with a good game plan against Gary Antoine Russell. Let's see what game plan he comes in with against Subriel. And like I said, Subriel, you got to hit him with a 2x4 to
Mm.
knock him out. You know what I'm saying? Because he's going to be in your face the whole fight. Gary Antoine Russell, when he fought Puello, you saw him backing up, coming in, backing up, coming in. So it wasn't constant pressure like what Subriel presses. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Um, but I am gonna be biased as fuck. Mexican boxing number one. I got El Gallo de Puerto
Okay.
Rico.
Well, I heard what you said about the Puello fight versus Gary Antoine Russell. Now,
Oh shit, we got a Nostradamus pick
now,
already.
now, now, interesting enough, like you say and you alluded to, styles, both fighters have different styles. The one thing in that Puello fight with Gary Antoine Russell, he kept hitting with Gary with shots coming in, and he kept having Gary reset, and Gary kept doing that same old pressure. And Puellos was smart enough, if he needed to edge himself back, counter, and he fought a smart fight. There's a difference between Subriel Matias' pressure. He typically pushes fighters to the point where that you got to stand in front of him. A lot of people criticize Subriel Matias and saying his kryptonite is going to be a boxer that can move with his legs and somebody that can stay on the outside and pepper him with jabs, 1, 2, but have a little power behind it, go down to the spot of the body and set up big shots upstairs. That was what, and grab, clinch him, and spin Subriel. Don't let him fire off on you on the inside. So typically, that's what they're saying. It's going to be Subriel. And I disagree. I disagree because I've seen countless of boxers go in the ring with Subriel. I saw all these guys. They were boxers. Once it was on his feet, running around, moving, they all start off that way. Every one of them. And soon, all of a sudden, they're so battered that they decide to stop running and try to throw power shots to this beast that's in front of them. And then to no avail, they start going punch for punch with Subriel. And at that moment, that's when he got you checkmate. He's going to break through that little Puello punch combination. And remember, Puello didn't knock Gary Antoine Russell down or knock him out. And neither did he do that to Sandor Martin. We're talking about Subriel Matias. From the time he lost his belts, he's coming off a row of knockouts. That does something for a man leading into the next fight. He's going to, listen, this guy ain't stop. What does he tell you that he got for power? Gary Antoine Russell got a boxing lesson in that fight. But I don't think he's got enough. And if you don't got
Well, Gary Antoine Russell got the same knockout power that
no,
Subriel got.
no,
Well, except for his last two
no, no,
fights.
no, no,
Except
no,
for
no,
his
no. Gary Antoine Russell got knockout power. Subriel Matias got bludgeoning power. There's a difference. There's a possibility that Subriel hits you so hard, he doesn't knock you out. And that shit's just rattling in your brain. I say this all the time. When you go in a fight against a fighter such as Subriel Matias, at what cost? Are you going to get your fighter the same way you put him in that ring? I'm not sure.
no,
I'm
hell
not
no.
sure. At what cost are you willing? How much are you willing to sacrifice from your fighter just to beat that kind of fighter?
What? Here's a prime example. Any fighter that Subriel has fought, they have not been the
No,
same
no.
after.
brother, I don't want to bring this up, but we know what happened. We know what happened.
Yep.
And I think ever since that night, there's a piece of him that dialed it back. Go ahead and wake that monster up. Talk about he doesn't have knockout power. Nah, he has. I'm not going to even say it. He has power, man.
Well,
Listen.
Subriel did say in an interview that he doesn't like knocking out his
He
opponents.
likes to play with his food.
He likes to make them
Yeah,
suffer.
yeah, I can see that.
Oh, play for same thing.
Yeah,
Play with his food.
I can see where Subriel's that kind of fighter. You know, you always got to have a little, you know, in this game. There's a little killer inside of all of us fighters. That's why we're fighting. You need to.
Yo, did you hear the rumors? I don't know if they're
What's
true or
up?
not, but I guess Shakur's not going to be the main event. It's supposed to be Berlanga versus Turkey's Golden Boy,
Well,
Shiraz.
smart business move. Okay, smart business move. We can't be blind in a situation like this. I keep telling you guys, boxing is a business disguised as a sport. Okay, Shakur Stevenson is from my hometown, Newark. Although I wasn't raised there, I came out in Boston when I was like 13. So, but Newark is where I was born. And I love all my Newark fighters. But Shakur is not really coming off of Josh Padley, right? So we're thinking about Berlanga that just fought Canelo. I mean, he just fought this bum, but nobody really remembers that. What we remember is Berlanga Canelo. So we got something right there. They're at a higher weight division. It stands for more knockout. What if Shakur Stevenson pitches another dud? For as much as I would hate to think about it, what if it's another fight with Edwin De Los Santos and Boxing Cop the boxing total of punches between both fighters? 12 rounds, 126 punches thrown combined. Ponce threw 100 punches by himself in the first round of the Subriel fight. That should give you how non-exciting that fucking fight was. So are you gambling on the fact that mysteriously you're going to get this knockout punching Shakur Stevenson with rumored brittle hands? You would be gambling a lot on Shakur if you put him in the top seed. But by accomplishments, he belongs in the top. And Berlanga belongs down from him. But that's not what's going on here. You're gambling on our potentially hurt Shakur Stevenson that got pimped out by promoters because Ed Hearn didn't take him. Lou DeBella took him with management with management with where was I? With Jay Prince. So it just goes to show you, right, that you know they weren't really believing in Shakur Stevenson's stock. You know, so to put Berlanga in the number one spot, I could see why. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, hold on a second. Bay, I'm on live. I'll call you right back. So, me cago en la madre. Jose, I'm on a live. I'll call you back. I'll call you back. Bye. Yeah, I'm on a live. Me cago en... My brother, man. And he knows. Yeah, what's
Hey,
up?
yo. I would say I would put Puello and Matias as the main because it's for a title.
También. That was pretty. That's well, you know, and
Had
yeah,
I been but then you got the Golden Boy Shiraz.
that's what's
fucking,
getting them the main spot. Thank you. You hit. That's it. That's the only reason why Berlanga's up there too.
And I see Berlanga stopping him in like
And
4.
I think Shiraz's overhyped, dude. You know, if you let these boxing analysts tell you he's a killer, just watch him fight with no volume. Watch him the way I watch the fights. You guys know I don't listen to the commentary. And just study him. You're gonna see, wait a minute. He's good, but he's not what they're promoting him out to be. They're already
And
talking like he's the next best thing since sliced bread. So
Carlos just made a good point. If they find in New York, that's Belanga's
listen,
home. He ain't gonna take a knee for that, especially at home.
well, let's see what happens. Hopefully, he don't get caught with a big shot neither, because Shiraz got power. I think he's a little awkward. I'm telling you, he's not as nice as they're saying he is. That's the definition of a hype job. That's the true definition of a hype job right there. So the stage is set for Berlanga, right? Oh,
Are we still talking about anyway?
who? What are you talking about?
The definition of a hype
Shut
job.
Yo, you're about to get kicked off the show. You know what I'm saying? Security, bang bang. You see what I'm dealing with? Anyway, so I mean the stage is set for Berlanga. This is his moment. Y si él quiere representar y él quiere el apoyo de los boricuas, él tiene que demostrar ahora. So, ya el tiempo ese para tal, no, que yo tuve una pelea mala, que yo estaba yendo, I was going through these problems, we don't want to hear none of that shit.
Nah, he's gonna show out.
We need
He's gonna show out.
Berlanga if we want to start putting him serious in the kind of conversations with the best to ever do it from Puerto Rico. You're gonna have to start winning some shit. You know.
Yo, so that weekend's gonna be a lot of boxing that
yeah, a
weekend,
lot.
because so rumors, again, these are hallway
Right.
rumors. They were supposed to try to get Collazo up on
Yep.
that card. Apparently, it's not gonna happen. He's gonna fight on a Golden Boy card that's gonna be, I think, Thursday or something like that.
Right.
You know how Oscar does those Thursday night fights or whatever.
Right.
He's supposed to be on a Thursday card, but again, those are rumors. I gotta go to the office.
Yeah.
The manager's looking for me.
No. We know who runs that. You know what I'm saying? Who wears the pants there? Yeah. Anyway, Frontline, you got to do what you got to do because you just got that cell phone. All right. Well, all right.
Yeah. But shit. No, that was a dope interview though.
It was a dope interview. I like the energy. I like the young man's vision. I like that he's aware what he has to do. He's aware of the journey that lies ahead. There's no shortcuts in this. You can't play boxing. You can play basketball. You can play baseball, but you can't play boxing. You go around playing boxing, you're gonna get hurt. So this young man knows the task at hand. I'm really up on this young man. I'm asking you guys to go. Oh shit! I had something for the young man and I forgot. Keith Colon, if anybody, Cano, tell the young man to come back and damn it. God damn it. Right? I was gonna throw this up right here. I was gonna be like, yo. And I completely forgot. Bam! You see it? It says,
what'd that say?
Damn, I have it a lot. Yeah, man. I should have worded it better, huh? It says Keith Colon 5-0, 100% knockout.
You slacking.
I should have had that up there, huh?
That shit should have been up there
before he even got on, right? But when he got on,
where's the manager at? Manager, you're fired.
Fire, bang, bang. But when we got on the TV, I would have got it to the other way though. He would have saw it. I would have had it on. But next time he come, let him know. Look at that's for the young man right there. But I had a great time. I hope he had a great time. It was a great interview. As I go and throughout this journey covering boxing, I bring you guys along, and I want to interview these young men and women to show the support for these young guys as they're coming up and bring more eyes to them. So if you could do me a favor and just hit that like button if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel for the latest and hottest in boxing news. And like always, I'm on to the next here at Round One Sports Zone. And Carlos said, man, and he laughed. Carlos, let him know, Carlos, let him know. My man, Carlito, Frontline, love you guys.